but it is too late. Gerite is going to be waiting. Hiko charges in, doesn't check. Oh, what? Oh my god! Inhuman reactions!
I don't think so. I think this was just kind of a long leg of just a kind of just bad luck and bad playing from us.
Yeah.
Like you said, Liquid bringing in Hiko. We're hoping he's kind of sorted the lineup out. Obviously, I think he brings so much to that team that could obviously turn them around and make them a lot stronger unit.
We do have a few players quite tagged up here from Luminosity, so Hiko definitely not going down without a fight. Oh wow, there's the first fast frag. Hiko gets a double. There's still 2 players left. They got no health on them. Oh my goodness, how does he do this? How does Hiko do it again? Here he comes once again. The first base is a Dren. He's going to hit the ground there as Cold. Oh, what? A jumping double from Cold. What is going on right now? How does he do this?
And just like that, it's Hiko versus 4, and I think it's Liquid out the door because their run of good luck and good fate in majors is over.
If I get on a team again, then that's great, and we can deal with this later. But you know, it's something now that I have to think about more than ever. Now is what do I want to do after I'm done playing?
He's about to pull off the Alamo. He's got 3 from behind quad. He gets the 4th. He's on for the ace, and he gets it. What?
Enemy remaining.
In order to keep this forward team. Fallen's got no cover, and he's going to go down straight away. Now let's do this. Cold Zero's got less than 10 HP. It's still a minute, but he's going to dance. He's just going to do it. Liquid back in the game.
Dude!
You're actually
fucking
hot.
Spencer Hiko Martin has pretty much been playing Counter-Strike since it came out. Regarded as one of North America's longest-standing OG top-tier talents, he's known to be one of the smartest players his region has ever seen. The problem is that he's also, bar none, the unluckiest. You see, for as long as he's been alive, Hiko's had the makings of a cutthroat competitor, but rarely the results. Born and raised in Detroit, Michigan, Hiko spent his childhood hopping from sport to sport until a hockey injury turned his attention towards a different sort of game. And when he was around 12, he encountered the game that would change his life.
Middle school, I was playing played StarCraft and Diablo 2. And I was in like a group of friends, and then one of the guy's brothers introduced him to Counter-Strike, and he started playing Counter-Strike every day, and we kind of missed him, so we all started to play Counter-Strike, and that's where it started.
Eventually, Hiko's obsession with Counter-Strike gave him an opportunity.
I was on like random teams in Counter-Strike. I was playing a little bit more and more, and then one of my friends told me to watch a match between 2 sponsored professional teams. There's like 30,000 people watching this. I was talking to my friend about it, and he's like, yeah, these guys are paid to play. They have sponsors. They travel over the world. Just from that one match, I was like, all right, that's what I want to do.
But as with most aspiring gamers, the path that led Hiko to esports wasn't direct. Hiko's life took a turn when his father's famed clothing store began to suffer amid Detroit's economic struggles in the mid-2000s. So when this industrious Midwestern boy with 30 grand in student loans and a part-time job at a concrete factory told his parents midway through a computer science degree that he'd be dropping everything to pursue Counter-Strike full-time, well, it didn't go over very well.
He came to me and he said, I'm going to quit school. I'm going to become a professional video game player. And I looked at him like he had lost his mind.
But Hiko was determined to live out his dream, to succeed on his own terms. Having made a name for himself in 1.6, Hiko entered Global Offensive with a bang. At a time when no one was taking North American Counter-Strike seriously, Hiko yearned to embody the kind of skill and smarts that would set him apart from his region. His talents earned him a spot on Complexity Gaming, where alongside such stars as Nothing, Sean Gares, and Swag, he upset the indomitable French roster Very Games to secure an astonishing top 4 at CSGO's first ever major.
Oh, Complexity, I take my hats off to you, sirs. Absolutely brilliant play from Complexity. A round of applause. The Americans have played so un-American. They have outsmarted
the world's best team.
The bomb will blow. And MBK will go down with the ship. It's 16-14 to Complexity.
The issue is that, great as they were, Complexity began to stagnate. They made top 8 at the next major in Katowice before signing with Cloud9 ahead of ESL One Cologne. And at that tournament, despite narrowly losing the quarterfinals, Hiko made the most iconic shot of his career.
But it is too late. Geralt is going to be waiting. Hiko charges in, doesn't check.
Oh,
What? Oh my god! Inhuman reactions! Hiko!
But C9's problems persisted. They were bursting with talent, had great chemistry, and were solidifying themselves as the best roster in North America. They just couldn't close. Come the next major, they didn't even make it out of groups.
Now leaving Hiko inside this bomb site, and he wants to take the fight. He doesn't want to get sandwiched in. He wants to fight up on long, but now he's going to have to be forced back. The smoke is just making it impossible. He lands a headshot on Olofmeister, and that's still pretty good. Now it's down to a 2-on-3. JW waiting in the middle, has the AK in hand. He's waiting. They line up for him, and that's going to be the end. JW, triple kill. He ends up at 21 kills. Olofmeister at 32, and Fnatic, they knock Cloud9 out of DreamHack Winter 2014.
I don't think so. I think this was just kind of a long leg of just a kind of just bad luck and bad playing from us.
Yeah.
In desperate need of a change, Hiko made the courageous decision to leave Cloud9 in the hope that he'd be able to find a group of like-minded players whose sole goal was to win. Hiko was widely regarded as having been C9's best player, and he caught the attention of the only other roster in North America to perform internationally. One that boasted a skilled support player, exceptional IGL, adored Opper, and one of the greatest prodigies the game has ever seen.
I jumped at the opportunity that was supposed to be the most talent on one roster at any time. I had the contacts at EG already. They were interested in doing it. I put all this together. We had a good deal. We had just qualified to go to the X Games event. And then all of a sudden, everything just failed.
Ooh, we have some interesting information.
Interesting info.
It looks as though some pro players have been banned by Volvo.
Ooh.
Okay, Could, Deborn, Casey Foster, Dazed, Swag, AZK, Steel, R.I.P. Ladies and gentlemen, R.I.P.
What a lot of people don't realize about the infamous iBuyPower match-fixing scandal is how it affected Hiko. In addition to costing him the chance to join a super team and reignite one of Counter-Strike's oldest, greatest orgs, Evil Geniuses, it left him lost and without a sense of direction. Determined to give his career another shot, Hiko used his newfound downtime as an opportunity to throw himself into something he'd always been extremely passionate about: streaming.
Hey?
Yeah, this one as well. I'm ready. Let's go. There's two more. Three more, all there.
Oh my god.
Down.
No! I had it!
Now, tragic as it was, the iBuyPower affair had a funny way of helping Hiko. Forced to find a new team, he hopped from one fledgling roster to another before finding his way onto the CIS-inflected Flipside Tactics. There, he met an unruly, indescribably talented up-and-comer, one who became a very unlikely friend.
As the bomb timer ticks, no problem. Adren wins the 1v2. And yeah, Angel just going beast mode. Like,
still regarded as a top-tier talent, Hiko's nomadic season came to a close when he got the opportunity to join Team Liquid in the fall of 2015. The goal was to create what never came to fruition with iBuyPower, North America's first dominant super team. Unfortunately, it didn't happen right away. In spite of Hiko's veteran presence, Liquid floundered for almost a year after his arrival, suffering elimination after elimination.
And it's going to be Forrest waiting in a great spot to spot it up, and there it is. It only takes one bullet. NIP will play the best of 3 decider matches. They'll survive the first test. And for Liquid, well, Group of Death was always going to be extremely tough for them. Hats off. They did decent considering good numbers against 2 very top teams, but I guess this is how we would have predicted it when we looked at it on paper.
It didn't help that Liquid had developed a reputation for choking while on the cusp of victory.
As Edward is your last man standing
supreme play on the first map. A little quiet here. Bomb is going to go down, and it's a 1v3.
This is it. He's got it all to play for now. M4 in hand, has got a Molotov as well. Smoke goes down. He's on the other side of it. Oh, could make something of this, you know, so all three players are waiting for him. He's going to push through. How is this going to go down?
This is insane. Edward, he gets one, he gets two. It's down to a 1v1 here. Adren against Edward. Bomb planted, smoke in. Edward, that molly goes out. Adren's on it. Oh, and Edward goes wild. The final seconds keeping Na'Vi alive.
Now, no one enjoys throwing one rounds, but this was especially frustrating for Hiko. You see, in addition to boasting above-average mechanics and a deep understanding of the game, he developed a reputation over the years for being exceptionally calm in the clutch.
That bomb plant's already been happening for quite a while here, so Hiko and Sean, that's a good kill from Hiko, but they realize Dupree's still in there somewhere. They're going to try and go for it here. They want to go all in. Hiko comes in with another kill, and back to a 2-on-2. That bomb's so far ticked. They got to move quick right now. They're going for it. The defuse is already happening. Hiko, are you kidding me? He's going to go for it. They win the round. Hiko picks up a triple and Cloud9 win it. What?
It even got to the point where the community started memeing on him because of it.
Jesus. No, I'm not kidding you. That's all it is. Anders was like, Hiko, are you kidding me? And so that's just stuck. Everyone asks me, Hiko, are you kidding me? Inhuman reactions. It goes back, it just goes hand in hand.
Come 2016, a change was in order, and Hiko enabled it to happen. His connection with the GOAT-to-be resulted in Liquid making one of the most compelling and chaotic signings in CSGO. Needless to say, it paid off.
Smokes. You see double smokes in the same place there. Simple just jumping casually into the side. He's going to fall down again. What is this shot from Simple? Are you serious? What is that? You can't do that, Simple. That's not allowed. This is not FPL. This is a major.
With Simple boasting the blue and white, and Hiko acting as a sort of mentor, Liquid weren't just a force to be reckoned with. They were the greatest roster their region had ever seen. They went all the way to the semifinals of Counter-Strike's first $1 million major, where it became resoundingly clear that Hiko had finally found a place where he could shine.
Now again, as we've seen so many times before, it's down to Hiko, but against 4, is it really possible? We do have a few players quite tagged up here from Luminosity, so Hiko definitely not going down without a fight. Oh wow, there's the first fast frag. Hiko gets a double. There's still 2 players left. They got no health on them. 13 and 3. Hiko creeping around the site now. There's still time. Oh my goodness, how does he do this? How does Hiko do it again?
But the second tragedy of Hiko's career struck in those semifinals. At what should have been the end of the first map, the impossible happened, and Hiko found himself on the receiving end of the most infamous, miraculous play in the history of CSGO.
It's Old Faithful, and Cold might be in trouble.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on him. He's got to hit these shots. We saw Fall in this spot before, the same spot, but with much more utility to work with. Here he comes once again. The first base is a Adren. He's going to hit the ground there as Cold. Oh, what? A jumping double from Cold! What is going on right now? How does he do this? Cold has saved Luminosity with the all play. Unthinkable scenes there on the B apartments. They needed a huge play, but that was something I'm never going to see ever again.
Broken and bewildered, Liquid began to unravel. Finally, after losing 9 rounds in a row, the North American Super Squad collapsed.
And that leaves everything to Hiko again. He is the man you want in this position, but 1 versus 3. This is for everything. This is for the map right now. Hiko making his way around the smoke. The spam that he will spot Taco, but that's it. Luminosity with a comeback from 15-10. An amazing play from Cole with the AWP all the way back into overtime, into a victory.
You want to hear the really crazy part? Against every expectation, Liquid came out guns blazing in the second map, and after bullying the Brazilians into a 15-6 scoreline, managed to throw even harder than the first time.
Versus 4, retake with an AWP. And there it is, Cold is going to take his head off, and Luminosity will find themselves in the grand finals against Na'Vi.
From there on out, Liquid were scarred. The community agreed that Columbus had been their major to win, and that they might never recover from such a catastrophic choke. It didn't help that they were suffering from a slew of internal issues, thanks in large part to the very prodigy Hiko himself had worked so hard to welcome into the team.
He always wants to win. If he plays well and we lose and somebody does bad, like he blames that person, and he'll do it even when we're like live in a match. So it's something that we have to work on. It's something that Liquid has been helping us with, something that I'm trying to help him with. And when we started playing with Adren again before the major, we had more problems again. Obviously, it's to be expected. Him and Adren definitely don't. They're not best friends. I don't think there's any point of sugarcoating it. They're definitely. I don't want to say they're enemies, but they don't get along perfectly.
But it seemed that Liquid were still one of the greatest rosters in the world and worthy of a major title. And at ESL Cologne 2016, they became the first North American squad ever to reach a major final. But their opponent happened to be the same team that traumatized them in Columbus. Liquid never even stood a chance.
And now it's just all in the details. Easy for SK to pick it up here. Trying to walk through the smoke, but it's just not going to happen. SK Gaming, second major championship in a row. They are your winners.
After that tournament, NA's greatest team to date went out with a whimper instead of a bang. Simple returned to Ukraine to join Na'Vi, leaving Hiko in a tough spot.
Obviously things didn't work out there. He went home, decided he missed his family too much and he wanted to stay. So before...
But there were some frictions within the team as well.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, okay, good.
I mean...
Just to get the straight dope, right?
I mean, even though he went home and didn't come back, even if he did come back, I could see a future where some of my players would have refused to play with him much longer than he actually stayed.
Hiko was exhausted from serving as an intermediary for so long. His performance took a bit of a dive, and Liquid began to fall off.
And just like that, it's Hiko versus 4, and I think it's Liquid out the door because their run of good luck and good fate in majors is over. And their legendary spot, it's been stolen away. Astralis, they'll get theirs back. They'll complete our top 8 teams for the Fox Theater.
Liquid, it's a sad finish to their run here. Had some good games, certainly been up and down, but a little bit of disappointing way to finish it off here. We've had some fantastic games, lots of...
In an effort to right the ship, Liquid dropped Hiko at the start of 2017, and it felt as if he'd once again been robbed of his place at the top.
I was so angry about being cut from the team because, we had this roster that had the talent and had the skill, and it almost felt like there was nothing I could do in my power. There was nothing I could have done to have made it go any differently. And I was really upset that we didn't really have that chance again to go that far.
Still, Hiko's stock was high, and his devoted fan base was hopeful that in spite of his age, he could still find the means to compete and succeed. He refused to call it quits and served a brief stint on Optic before Rogue gave him the chance to build his very own roster.
It's not looking good for them. Cadian trying to find some kind of balance somehow, gets sidelined by Daps, and Hiko out in the open finds 2 kills. He still has 2 more in front of him though. Finds a 3rd and the 4th. Hiko, what the hell is that, Hiko?
Unfortunately, that too ended in disaster. Thanks to innumerable roster issues, nearly all of which were outside of his control, Hiko spent almost 2 years trying to get his roster off the ground. Unfortunately, it was all to no avail, and he walked away partway through 2019 fearful about his future in Counter-Strike.
2 years ago, I didn't really have to start thinking about, okay, what do I want to do after I'm done being a pro? What do I want to do once I can't play for a team anymore? But now I kind of have this impending thing kind of in the back of my mind eating away at me, like, well, what if I don't get on a team again? And what if I get on a team again, then that's great and we can deal with this later. But, it's something now that I have to think about more than ever now is what do I want to do after I'm done playing,
Hiko spent the next year or so splitting his time between his stream and attempting a competitive comeback, trying to crack it on a bunch of 2-bit rosters that, in addition to being a step down from what he was used to, never really amounted to anything. In spite of his reliability, it felt as if no one in CSGO was willing to gamble on a 30-year-old who never found the success everyone felt he deserved. And while Hiko's stream did continue to see the same amount of moderate success it always had, it felt as if his expertise was going to waste. As if, after always managing to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, Hiko's chances had simply run out. And then, out of nowhere, As if the gods of gaming had ordained it, something crazy happened. Counter-Strike saw its first real challenger, like, ever.
I got this.
미안해서 어쩌나?
Hiko found a new home in Valorant, and he began to catch the attention of non-CS players who'd migrated over from a variety of games and needed to become fluent in the mechanics and mindset of Counter-Strike.
He's an Overwatch player. Zero chance he could just swing alone. You got him.
Within no time, he'd become the entertaining, educational, and wildly successful streamer he'd always had the potential to be. But as soon as he'd gotten his hands on Valorant, it became clear that Hiko had always had what it took to be a streaming juggernaut. He was personable, professional, and one of those few one-in-a-million talents who was capable of catering to casuals and competitors alike.
Boys, today's my disappointing game.
Revealing area. There they are.
I'm dead.
I'll be over.
Shot down.
One enemy remaining.
Say anything? Wow! Oh my god, I don't know why I yelled at that. I don't know. You should have heard what I just yelled in my stream, dude. That was sick.
But make no mistake, he was still the same cold, calculating clutch master he had always been.
One enemy remaining.
Goodbye, young men. Catch y'all next game. Catch you in the next life.
For the first time in his life, it felt as if the stars had aligned for Hiko, as if his time as both a content creator and competitor had finally come.
The big news is, I am going professional in Valorant. I have signed to a team. That team is no, it's not Cloud9. I've been joining. I signed with No, it's not Liquid either. I signed with 100 Thieves. I think it's. Some people probably had an idea, but yes, I have officially signed with Team 100 Thieves.
Whatever the future holds for Hiko, one thing is certain. In spite of everything, his age, accolades, and the awful circumstances he's endured, he's one of these holdouts who just had to be rewarded. He refused to acquiesce, and somehow, some way, his best is yet to come.
Headshot. No match.
Dude!
You're actually
Dude!
so fucking high.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring that notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit up our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook pages.